of a bloke called Jacob Butler. I don't think there's any relationship. There could be. I'll ask him in a sec. It's a story of a bloke who's pretty inspirational, really, given the issues he's had to deal with since childhood, a certain condition that he suffers from. And then in recent years, he's honed his skills as an artist, and just looking at some of the paintings he has produced of late, they are extraordinary, and he's clearly got a lot of talent there. He's also been nominated for a Disability Support Award for his Art Without Barriers program that he runs for disadvantaged people. So let's have a chat to Jake Butler. G'day, Jake.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Any relation to Steve? By the way, I should just check. That would be unfortunate for you.
No.
No,
he's a good bloke.
He is a good bloke. All right, now, just take us back to what is the sort of condition that you have to deal with day to day?
It's called benign essential tremor, and basically my hands are sort of constantly shaking. Depending on my mood or sort of how relaxed I am or whatnot, it's pretty obvious condition when people are around me. Some people think it's pretty funny, or some people are shocked or whatever, but I just sort of become a part of who I am. So I just use it to my advantage.
Do the medicos know what causes it, mate?
No, they just say it's just something that you get from birth.
Wow.
Apparently I used to shake in the cot as a baby, but apparently everyone sort of has it to some degree, and I just seem to cop it a bit more than others.
All right. So you've had to grow up dealing with that. How hard has that been to start with? Because you stand out.
A little bit. It's sort of it was always just more of a laughing point. Like whenever I was at Hungry Jack's and I was trying to open up like a Whopper, for example, I'd get pretty excited. My hands would just start going nuts.
Yeah.
It was never really that bad. It was just, I guess, when I tried to do architecture at university, I noticed it was pretty rough when I was trying to even use a ruler to do a straight line, would sometimes be pretty difficult.
Yep.
So you just have to find other ways of getting past it.
Okay. And does the shake, can it get worse under certain conditions? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's more about how balanced you are and healthy at the time.
Yeah, okay.
It's not one of those ones which gets worse with age. It's just something that you can sort of watch and monitor.
Well, all right. Well, let's just jump ahead now. I think you worked down at the wharfs at some point with some pretty well-known people. I know that have worked on the wharfs as well. But you've now found that art could be a calling for you. How did that come about? You started painting.
Yeah, well, that was I think that's the big funny part about the whole thing is that I've travelled the world, tried all sorts of different jobs, and landed on the wharf when I returned from Europe. And finally, I sort of came into some money because it was a good paying job, but I was never really fulfilled. But I think a lot of people, they pigeonhole themselves into various careers to chase money, and I finally came to that part of my life where it was all happening, but I was just unfulfilled. So I decided to spend all my time painting on hard hats.
Is that right?
Yeah.
About. Okay.
That's it. Simple as that. I sort of started scribbling on my own one, and then somebody wanted their own hard hat, and then pretty much, I'd say like after about 9 months, I managed to do about 100 hard hats. So the whole wharf was filled up with different colours everywhere. It was a bit of a laugh.
Did you know that you had a bit of a penchant for painting or sort of freehand drawing or whatever you want to call it at the time? I mean, did you know that you had the artist in you?
Well, I always wanted to, but I guess I was always concerned with how other people. Basically, I get quite influence of encouragement of others, and when I started painting the hard hats, everyone was getting.
Okay, you saw what you could do with hard hats, and so did your work colleagues. But did you have a view then that you'd like to go on the canvas, you'd like to get bigger, and you'd like to sort of do?
I just wanted to. It was quite funny. I was sitting on the wharf, and I used to get driven around in a van just so I could sort of paint everyone's hard hats. It was like a full-time job. I got busted once. I got busted by the general manager. He was like, "What are you doing, mate? You should be working." And I said, "Oh, well, check this out. I've just been doing sketches." And there were sketches of my colleagues, of my wharfie mates. And then he's like, "Wow, this is pretty good. Why don't you come to my office? I'll commission you to do a whole thing." So it just went from there. I went from hard hats to portraits and carried on the flow.
All right. And okay, obvious question. You probably get asked this one, but with the shape that you have, when you are painting, does the shape go away, or do you use it to an advantage in some way? Because it's all about brushstroke.
Yeah, well, that's right. I guess I get my style out of the way I shake. I do a lot of pastel and chalk work, so it's using your fingers as opposed to trying to get those definitive marks. But I've always just been a really messy person, and I think even drawing, I can't draw a perfect circle, but I can use that to get a style. So none of my pictures are very clean, but I guess it gives it its own look and personality, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. And there's some ones there that I see. I mean, you painted Bay Rigby. Now, I mean, I sort of obviously know a little bit about Bay, and he had a bit of a troubled latter years of his life, of course. But what was that like to paint someone who is so well known for his own artistic abilities?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I mean, I've always been fascinated by people that are a bit different from others, with larger-than-life personalities, and he was definitely one of them. And I ran into him once would have been about 8 years ago at a pub and saw what he was capable of.
Yeah.
And he almost opened up doors to possibilities in my mind that I could sort of be doing that. I was just way more fascinated with people like that than pursuing your sort of normal career. Whether it was university or anything else, because I tried that and it didn't work for me.
Well, mate, and I'm going through some of your art as well. I mean, the one you've done of the Red Dog Waiting, 2013, you painted that. I take it that's already sold, is it?
Yeah.
Shame.
I did
like
it. Back. Oh, yeah.
Mate, I've got a dog. That could be my dog that I'm looking at there in that painting. So hats off to you for your ability. You say messy, mate. It's brilliant artwork. Where do you want to go with it?
Well, just keep going forward. Every single painting I do, I think I get better. And my main goal this year is to actually get more serious. So I'm on the way now to Quintanning with my partner and 3 dogs in the car. It's a bit of a madhouse. But I've got an easel and a whole lot of paint. So I'm just going to spend more time sort of secluded a bit, and so I can get serious and paint for an exhibition.
Oh, fantastic. Your dogs aren't the ones that feature in some kind of parachuting dogs from the sky, is it? I can't quite tell. There's one of your paintings is called the Ride.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
Well, that was one of them, actually. Now I've got another one, Banjo, and I've put him on a mural in town as well in Claremont. It's I just love dogs, and I reckon they can sort of, even when I got my first dog, Banjo, the French Bulldog, I mean, that changed my life as well, having a companion. So I always like to incorporate that into artwork.
You just mentioned the murals, so people can see your work just publicly, free of charge. Whereabouts have you been painting? Because this is really catching on, the murals on otherwise bland walls in and around our city.
There's a big dog mural that I've been working on in Claremont at a new cafe called Burnt Toast.
Yeah.
One in Applecross, my sister's cafe called the Old Boy Cafe.
Okay.
Some in right next. There's quite a lot.
Well, good on you, mate, for doing it. And you've been nominated, as I said, particularly for the work that you're doing with Art Without Barriers. You sound like a perfect role model for that. I know the winners are going to be announced on July 2. I really do wish you all the very best. Thanks for chatting to us today.
No, thanks very much for that. I'm looking forward to the night. It's going to be good.
All right, and enjoy your quiet time down there with the 3 dogs, mate.
No worries. Thanks for that, mate.
That's Jake Butler. He's just a bloke we read about in the West this morning. We thought we'd get him on, and real character. I wonder if he'll ever go back to painting hard hats down at the wharves. They maybe if the Fremantle port gets signed off, they might need him down there to do some commemorative ones. 92211 882. Right now, it's 12 minutes to 12.